Hi everybody, this is a Mardu Arcane Bombardment deck that wants to use some of our multicolored spells to give us an insurmountable advantage in the late game. Now, I know some of you have been patiently asking for a Mardu version of Arcane Bombardment, so this is my best stab at what something like that might look like and be effective. The problem we face in Mardu colors is that we really don't have a lot to work with. It wasn't one of the crime families of New Capenna, so we don't get any sweet tricolored cards in these colors. The double-colored cards we have are just okay. There's nothing too stellar in there. So we really kind of have to work with what we can splash into these colors and see what each color can offer us. Now, one of the cards I was excited to try from Brothers War was Legions to Ashes. It exiles a non-land permanent that an opponent controls, and then all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent. Now, that second clause doesn't come into play too often, but it's just a nice 3-mana exiling sorcery that can still be useful in the right situation. So we're giving that a try in here. Now, the overall structure of the deck is pretty familiar by now. We've got 4 Big Score, 4 Burn Down the House, and then 4 Arcane Bombardment. And so you can see we're really leaning on Burn Down the House as kind of the ultimate win condition. But the rest of the deck really supports it and can help us gain kind of like a snowballing, insurmountable advantage. As you can see, we have a large quantity and a large variety of early game interaction in Cut Down, Sacred Fire, and Cathartic Pyre. Now, we need something to be able to hit early game creatures because I don't know about your experience on the standard ladder right now, but I run into a lot of mono red, a lot of very aggressive strategies, including, Azorius soldiers and that kind of thing. This isn't like a best of 3 environment where we can really sideboard into a better plan against these decks. Most often, we need to have a good Game 1 plan every time that also offers a little flexibility. So that's why we're going back to the old favorite Cathartic Pyre here and sticking with some of our other classic removal options that you see here. Now, black also gives us access to Pilfer, so we've got 1 copy of that in here, and we're trying out 1 copy of Extinguish the Light because a minor theme of this deck is life gain and keeping us alive against aggressive mono-red decks. We've got a smattering of enchantment removal here. We've got 1 Destroy Evil and then 1 Sanctify. Again, that life gain theme coming back. Another classic card in here is 3 Union of the Third Path. This card on its own can make mono red fold if we get it tucked up under Arcane Bombardment. So we are definitely running 3 of those in here. So anyway, let's get over and check out some games with this deck on the ranked standard ladder. It ended up being a little better than I anticipated, especially against other aggro decks, as we don't really have a lot of cards that make Mardu work particularly well, but this combination of stuff worked well against the opponents I ended up facing on the ladder. So I'm sure some tweaks can be made, but this was an interesting experiment to do. So anyway, let's get over and see some of these games with this deck on the ranked standard ladder. I'll be with you for some commentary, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. All right, let's get into this. We're trying a Mardu Bombardment list. We're missing the key black portion of the lands at the moment, but not a problem. Ooh, these are some nice looking lands from the opponent. How have I missed these? That's cool. All right, at any rate, we got a mountain. Let's go ahead and cycle Sunset Revelry. Gain a little bit of that life back. Got a Brotherhood's End if they try to keep anything on the board, but this Ronin is going to be a pain until we can find an instant speed way to remove it. Okay, still on the red and white. Luckily, haven't drawn any of the black cards yet. Got 2 Brotherhood's End. We can try to wipe a board, but they are sticking strictly to instant speed, hasty stuff. Ronin again. Well, Union of the Third Path sure is not what they want to see. Let's just Revelry. It cycles away, but we really need to keep up on lands and try to get up to 6 for Bombardment. Do have this Destroy Evil here, but I'm not sure what we're going to be able to hit with that unless they play something like a Mechanized Warfare enchantment. All right, now they play something to the board. We're still at 18, though. That Union was really key in helping us out. Okay. Well, we've got Big Score. Let's see what we draw here. If we draw a swamp, we can maybe... I was thinking we could maybe cut something down, get rid of that Ronin finally, but we're still okay. And we've got Bombardment. If we can start picking up that Union, we are golden. Okay, squeeze. So they've got all the hasty things here. We're definitely going to need to get rid of this board. Let's see. If we do this now, though, we can cut down squee and try to pull up something good from the graveyard here. So let's see what they do. Ronin again. A lot of damage. All right. We really need to start putting things under bombardment, so let's get that going here. Lightning strikes our face in response to the cut down. That's not great for us. Okay, we get a Revelry. That's pretty good. Gives us life and creatures, which is sorely needed, much more than cards right now. All right, great. We can block the Ronin. Get rid of that finally. That cushion of life is fantastic. All right, we draw a Plains. Still can't Pilfer. That's frustrating, but we can Brotherhood's End and get rid of what's left over. Sunset Revelry again, and we pick up the Union. Yes, please. All right, what's the ordering on this? I think Union first, and if we draw off the Revelry, that gives us an extra card. Yeah, I was going to say, that's a little much. Good game. All right, we've got Mardu Bombardment again. We've got a black card. We've got black mana this time. We're going to be good to go. Been running into a lot of mono red decks, and if you can get that life gain train running, it's a little too much. Oh, are we up against another one? Okay, Hasty Swiftspear gets in for one. Let's go ahead and take care of that before they can respond to it. Gives us a little bit of life back. What do you got? Reckless Impulse. Okay, so that means no creatures this turn. We're up to 3. This Union might be nice. I think I'd rather Union here than Pilfer, and we can keep up Fateful Absence if there's something really nasty. But nope, they just opt for the Lightning Strike. Well, let's negate the Lightning Strike with this Union and pick up a card. All right, we get lands 4 and 5, which is amazing. We've got this big score. We're at 22 against a mono red deck, and we're about ready to big score into Arcane Bombardment. This is not bad. Okay, Mechanized Warfare. That's going to amplify all of their stuff, so we need to keep moving on this. Fateful Absence goes away for now. Oh, we pick up a Sanctify. That's perfect. Well, I think we're at such a high life total, we need to get this down now. We're probably going to take a little damage this turn, but if we can start Sanctifying and getting Bombardment going, we are in great shape. All right, a Hasty Creature. And a Research Desk, which triggers the Swiftspear. That's nice. Play with Fire. Okay, that does an extra damage. Or does it? I should probably read Warfare more closely. All right, so the Swiftspear gets in for a chunk. We've got a couple of options in Brotherhood's End and Sanctify. What do we got down here? Sacred Fire, Union, Fateful Absence, and Big Score. I kind of want to get Sanctified down there, so maybe we can pick it back up next turn. Oh, we get Sacred Fire? Yes. Okay. Sacred Fire to the Swiftspear. Sanctify takes care of Warfare, and that leaves us no instance for our opponent's turn. That's... Well, we're at 20. It's not a huge deal, but gonna want those instants so we can get more activations going. Let's Pilfer and see what you're holding on to over there. All right, we pick up Sanctify, which has another target. Sacred Fire, which goes to the face. So we gain 5. And Chandra, Play with Fire, and Strangle. Definitely Chandra. That's an easy pick for us. Each spell we cast essentially negates that Play with Fire damage. All right, they use the Research Desk. Going looking for some more damage here. Okay, the research desk again. Play with fire goes to the face. It takes us to 23. Let's cycle the Proving Ground then. Into another Triome. Oh, burn down the house is nice. Still no instants though. We're doing this at a slow pace. Well, definitely pilfering. Sanctify that research desk. And Sacred Fire the face again. We'll net a casual 5 life off of that. Pilfer out their remaining card. And get some devils going. Start moving towards finishing this game off. We are at 28. I think we're in a great spot. Swift Spear comes down. So what do we have left? A couple of research desks. Yeah, not much else going on. Good game there. This looks pretty good. We're a little on the expensive side, so we're going to have to dodge some early creatures or hope to draw into some Sacred Fires, but yikes. Okay. We're going to really depend on these next few draws. Ooh, everything very expensive in this hand. In hindsight, probably should not have kept this. Oh. Okay. I mean, that plays well with the Swift Spear, but... Alright, let's get this tap land going here. We can't really do anything right now that's worth doing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Festival Crasher party here. Still no spells to activate it though. Have they gotten stuck with an all creature hand? I mean, we are ready for a World of Hurt. Okay. Crasher number 3. So many. But we're only taking 3 this turn. It gets us to 13. All right, these next couple of turns are crucial here. This is going to really determine if we are eliminated immediately or if we have a chance at this. Okay, infantry. This is like all the creatures that respond to spells. Where are the spells? All right, Ancestral Anger is going to activate everything. All right, the infantry, it doesn't have haste, so I think it can just have the counter. The only thing we can poke is the Swift Spear with a Sacred Fire, but how much damage is this going to be altogether? We're looking at 9 from the Crashers, and then 2 from the Swift Spear. That's 11. One more spell is just enough to finish us. But if they don't have it, we're at 2? We're at 1. Well then. Big score? Let's get a burn down the house in the yard. We've got this extra one to try to tackle this board here, but we are not in a good shape here. All right. Land. So we've got 7 available. I think we can burn down the house and keep back Sacred Fire to gain us some life, or we can fire off Sunset Revelry post burn down the house. That would gain us more life and get us out of range of a lightning strike too. Yeah, I think that's the play. If they can respond to this, we're done. Okay. All right, we dodged a huge threat there. What is left in that hand? Okay, there's the lightning strike. That would have taken us out. Okay, if we had saved the Sacred Fire, we would have been out of this. But as it stands, we are clinging. Okay, let's big score. Sanctify has no targets, so let's get rid of that. All right, cut down's okay for hasty guys. All right, more lands. All right. Bombardment, I think. We can still Sacred Fire the face if there's no targets on board. Or we can just do this now and get us up to 4. and see what we pick up here, because if we get a big score, we can maybe do something else on the opponent's turn, and we're just looking for ways to keep gaining life. We'll discard the Garden. 2 lands and an Extinguish. That's some more life gain. All right, so if they've got 2 burn spells, it's over. Okay. We've got a Union. That's perfect. I think we just do it. I know it's an instant, but we got to start gaining life. Yes, Sacred Fire to the face. This should get us out of range of whatever they're holding on to over there. We go to 6 and then up to 12. And we have another Union for the opponent's turn. I cannot believe we dodged that. All right, Kumano comes down. Opponent just drew all of their spell-dependent creatures early. Legion to Ash is not going to help us, so let's big score that away. Let's get some Devils. I think we may have turned the corner on this. Sacred Fire goes face, and big score can get rid of... well, cut down. Extinguish hits everything. So on the off chance they respond to a cut down, we can still remove the creature. Couple of lands, many, many treasures. Let's pilfer and see just what's going on over there. We get both burn down the houses. Can we finish them outright? What is that? 9 total damage? We're going to draw a little bit here. So yeah, that's 2 from the Sacred Fire. We've got 9 Devils. Let's see what we pilfer here. Oh, Ancestral Anger. No card draw. And let's get in. Oh no, we should have burned down the house. Oh, well, you know what? This is going to look like it's some bad manners, but it's really just bad math. Let's wipe the board here and point the Devils at the face. Wow. Good game. All right, an acceptable hand for Mardu Bombardment. Still lacking a black mana source. I feel like that's the story of my mana base here. Get this Garden going. We've got some early removal if this is an aggro strategy. We've been facing mostly red decks. This may be something different. There's a black source for us. I think we can try to get that online next turn. If they're more control-y, we may want to try to thrill here. Fable, okay. Well, let's thrill anyway. We could, well, let's get rid of this mountain. We're probably going to draw more lands. Okay. So we replace the land. The cut down can be used on this token if we want to. Kind of want to save the Fateful Absence for any Planeswalkers, any Obnixili that come down over there. So a few instants here. Option 2, cycle this Proving Ground away if we need to. Let's see what they discard. Oh, a Mishra, and that's it. Is this Copyright Gaming's list? All right, well, let's get rid of Mishra now. Question is, do we let them get the treasure? Let's see, if it's that list, it kind of tops out at 4 and 5. So let's hang on to this cut down for the flipped Fable. Think we'll be okay. Yeah, and we've got a second Sacred Fire, excuse me. So right now we're just trying to prevent catastrophe until we get to 6 mana. Maybe we draw a big score. Think we can manage this couple of things that are on the board here. If they have a third Mishra, though, we are in trouble. Okay, Bankbuster. Not bad. That's kind of a slower way to get them back into the game with some cards. They'll sack the clue token that we gave them. All right, they get in again with the Shaman. Kind of hate to keep giving them treasures with letting that thing live, but it's more important that we take care of the flipped Fable. All right. Brotherhood's End. That is interesting. So we're at 5 mana. We can't play Bombardment yet. We can Brotherhood's End and still keep up some removal. And that would get rid of the Bankbuster and stop them from drawing more cards. I think it's not great. All right, opponent opts to just let it all go. They could have sacrificed the treasures to use the Bankbuster there, right? Or maybe it was tapped. All right, they play with fire, probably for the Scry. I'm wondering if they're sitting on some removal in hand. That's why we haven't seen so many threats just yet. Okay. A Harvester, so we've got a 3-2 on the board now. That'll give them a blood token. Attacks with the Shaman again and gets another treasure. So I think we can let that go. All right. Well, at this point, what's the worst they can do? Mishra, that's an extra 2 damage. Shieldred, also an extra 2. Let's get this bombardment down. I think we can survive one more turn and then use some of these instants to start clawing our way back. Very curious about what they're holding on to over there. So, like, yeah, worst case scenario, they put a Mishra down. That means we take an extra 2 from that attack. All right, so they must be looking. Yeah, there's a cut down. So they did have some removal in there that's kind of useless against us. All right, play with fire for the Scry. There's Shieldred. Okay, so we're going to take an extra 2 next turn. So this attack for 5. That'll take us to 7. We'll draw and go to 5. Perfect draw. Could not have gone better. Let's do this. 5 damage to everything. That'll take care of Shieldred, which is great. Let's see. We can... Oh. Well... What do they have? No cards in hand? Yeah. Kind of didn't mean to thrill, but I think we're okay, actually. So we survive. We're at 1. We can Sacred Fire on our opponent's turn. Oh, no. Okay. Well, let's... No, don't resolve. Sacred Fire again. That'll get us to 3. We can thrill before Shieldred comes down. Oh, but we can't burn down the house. Oh, that feels like a punt. Feels like a punt, but... Okay, another burn down the house. Good. That'll take care of Shieldred, number 2. So we can afford to draw 1 card. Yeah, uh-huh. All right, we're at 1. We're going to have to step carefully here. All right, let's see. What do we got mana for? 7 mana. We can do a Sacred Fire, but nothing else. If we do that to the face, we do have a burn down the house tucked under, right? Or we can just exile Shieldred, and will that leave us with enough for an instant? Let's see. That leaves us 2 mana. Well, it gains us life, though. Yeah, so let's do that. Bombardment pulls up a Brotherhood's End. So burn down the house, dealing damage. That gets rid of Shieldred. We can't draw at all. All right, Devils will all go towards the opponent. All right, and we're at 3. It's not great. Okay, Fable. That's fine. We can deal with that. Okay, land. All right, what do we have the mana for? If we do that... So, let's see. If we Legion now, that's a sorcery. We can Legion the token. Oh, and it picks up our instant that we were going to play. All right, well, we can draw with impunity now. Shieldred's gone. Sacred Fire buys us a little more time. Definitely gets us out of Invoke Despair range. Let's clear out those treasures. Takes him to 11. We're at 5. And we pick up just lands. Oh my. Okay. Let's get in. Do we make Devils now or do we save it? I think we save it. if we draw more land next turn, we're in even worse shape. So we need to keep activating here. Can't spend this just yet. Mishra, not bad. Okay, Pilfer, kind of useless. Let's see here. If we make tokens, I think we've got enough tokens to finish this. Let's see here. Sacred Fire goes to the face. Thrill gets rid of this extra land. We can Fateful Absence. Yeah, okay, we just got there. All right, great game.